All right. So we are going to start the Onshape element of the boat project. So I've named mine Powerboat Tutorial. Make sure you name yours, start with your I've got my drawing. I'm going to use it. So I'm going to say file, load, JPEG. And over here, get it started. On the right plane, a sketch. I need to insert the image, so I say import, pick it from my download folder, and click that out. And then, so now it's in the computer, and I'm in a sketch environment. So now I can insert the image. And it says draw the rectangle. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to where this has got to sit in the model. I'm just going to kind of put it though in the middle, maybe right there. Okay, sizing. I'm going to go for about, I think, like my rocket, I'm thinking around 16, 18 inches for the length of my boat. But it will really depend on what you're going for. If you're doing like a bigger ship or something bigger, you might want to try for a longer. Remember, we can only print 10 inches at a time. So if you go for anything bigger than 20 inches, it's going to be at least 3 pieces. I'm open to 3, 4, 5 pieces if you desire. Okay. So I'm going to dimension that line. And this one, I say 16 inches. I'm going to go 18. So you see, if I put that line from the tip to the thing and then I dimension it and then type in the number, it adjusted the image to that. It's a little trick that Onshape does. And we will take it. Now, just to start modeling, we're going to have to just keep all of these simple. I'm going to show you how to do a fairly simple hull for a boat. And that's the hull, the hull. This boat is almost all hull. Some boats have more on top and some boats have less, but so we're just going to start with a pretty basic hull. But won't get this shape exactly, but I can kind of like work on it later to get changes to it. So in that, what I want to talk about is the fact that I kind of need a top deck for the boat. All these boats are going to need a top deck. Okay, so let's start by making a plane that's offset from the ground plane up here. See how you can kind of add a new plane in here and just pick a point where you think is the deck of the boat. I'm going to probably stop about there. And you can see it's almost like 1.5 inches up right there. Let me just round that up to 1.6. Okay, so I'm gonna start by doing a sketch on this deck. And as you may guess, I'll do the top sketch of the boat. And I only have this one view of my fountain. It's a fountain 42. And I think images. Actually, I'm going to go to images real quick and see if I can get more of a top view. In fact, I might say top. And you can see I'm not getting anything exactly, but I can kind of glean that this thing is basically shaped like a bullet, right? Pretty simple. And a lot of the boats will be generally something like that. So that gives me an idea. Now I know. So I'm going to go ahead and use my handy dandy spline tool. The front of the boat is right there at that front of that line. I might do a use trick where I'm going to just put that point in right there and that rear point in right there. Now I'll go back, look at this thing on top. So my spline is going to go from that to that. There we go. Spline. Click. All right, we got a bullet basically. I'm going to go ahead and click. And now the fountain has a little trick where it kind of gets a little pointy at the beginning. I like that actually about that boat. And I may decide to straighten out the side a little bit. There we go. I'm happy with that. I'm going to close the back. Okay. Now, of course, please don't try and make a copy of that on the other side when there's this great tool called the mirror tool. And I'm going to pick the mirror line there and enter the mirror. It'll be that. Boom. All right, good. That's the start of my boat. And as you may guess, the best thing next to do is get this side profile. Okay, and we can do that right here in the right plane. Hit sketch. Boom. Again, spline tool, and I'm going to also, before I do that, let's hit that use tool again. Use that and use that. You can see it's got one bend there and probably one bend right there. And these little notches in here, I'll probably dare to put those in later. So let's just ignore that right now. And you can see these two I can put in later. So I'm just going to go here and approximate a back right there and double click. And then I'm going to finish mine off with a straight line. And then I'm going to go ahead, I think, oops. I'll go ahead now and also put a line going all the way down. Okay. Then one other sketch element, at least one other that I need for these boats is going to be a plane that is 60 degrees on both sides, spline. So let me show it to you. You're going to need to create a plane. In this case, line and angle. And you're going to pick that line and angle 60 degrees. Now, not everybody has to do 60 degrees because we can vary that and change that depending on the boat. But should get stuff. And now that I've got that plane put in, I'm going to sketch on it. And I'm going to use this line that I already created. I click on it and you see it puts a projection of that onto that plane that I just built. Okay? Luckily enough, it goes right to the same point. And I'm also going to pick this back up. Okay? And I'm actually looking at this thinking I probably should have changed that angle. So watch. Let's see if I can update it. On this plane, if I go to angle 45, that's going to be better. There it goes. And it kind of updated that line. Um, Now, I'm not sold that that's exactly what I'll need for a curve. So I'm going to go create another one and you'll see what I need here. So I'm going to go back into this sketch. I feel like this was not as far out as I want it for the hull of my boat. And so I'm going to create another one. In this case, I'm going to go, it's kind of where that dark line is. You're seeing that. And and in this case, I'll probably go right to this back edge. Here, double click. So now that sketch has got a couple different curves in it. You can see the one that I thought I needed way further out. Maybe a little too far out, but I'm not going to stress because I can go change that. Okay. And I need now, because the front all comes to a point, this back edge here, I'm going to need to create a tying sketch element from this point to this point and to this point. So I'm going to make a plane. It's a 3 point. And then I'm going to pick uno, dos, tres. There we go. Here's my back deck. Transom for a boat, by the way. Often it's a transom. Set that. I'm going to sketch on it. We'll do the U's again. I want that point, and that point. I'm going to right click and say new now. Actually, I didn't help me. I didn't see it. It's flying. It depends on what I'm going for here for my boat. I'm just going to double click right there to end it. And I'll put a little concave contour here like this. And then one more line going all the way up to the back. I think that line already exists. Actually, I think I may have mispicked there. Gotta be careful sometimes. There it is. In fact, I better be really careful. And see how that is actually, my plane is coming back right now to that point in particular. And I can see that as being an issue with this whole thing if we're not careful. And I probably will have to fix that. But I'm looking at that. And I'm going to keep going, and you're going to kind of see what's going to happen here. But so now that I've got all these created, I'm going to do myself a favor, right click, and I'm going to hide all planes. Clean this up a little bit and see more so what I created. Okay, it really should be like a wireframe that I created, because that's kind of a tool we're going to use to create this as well. I'm going to hide. Actually, you can see it a little better. I'm going to also put it in perspective view. Kind of see what we created here. And now I'm going to go ahead and just try for this first element that you're going to do to start creating the boat, which is the fill tool. And it will put a face. If you have the wireframe created, it can put a face in. I just have to find it real quick. It's under here. That's right. So this little icon here, offset surface, and change that to fit. I'm going to pick this contour. I'm going to pick this contour. And lastly, I'm going to pick this contour. Okay. See that? There we go. We're on our way to a boat. And I okay, so I just looked at the time. I'm almost at a 15-minute video here. So I kind of want to end it there. And hopefully I've showed you enough to kind of play with this and get started. I'm going to accept that. I want to, you can see that it kind of no-show, because I can use some of the sketches. They do what's called consume them, which is just no-show them. So I'm going to put them back in play here. because I'm going to do this one more time and show you. Again, the fill, I have this wireframe, and this wireframe. You see it's going to do add, so it's going to add that to the existing surface. And I'm going to go ahead and accept that. Now this is the one where I'm going to have a problem because I don't have the line correctly put in between these two, and that's really all I have to fix here. And how I would approach that is, again, create another plane. That's just 3-point plane, and you're going to have a point there and a point there for sure. And I might decide to select this spot right there, accept it, sketch on this new plane, and just put my line in. And I'm going to go ahead and see it highlights it. So I guess I don't need to use the use tool in this case. So I'll forego it. There we go. I'm going to try the fill again. So 1, 2. All right, almost done here. Let me go ahead and show you that you only want to do the 1/2 because you are going to mirror it across. So you're going to say what entities near that, near plane in this case, will be out of it. Okay, there we go. I've got my start, and I'm going to go ahead and finish for right now. We'll do thicken and stuff later. Okay, that's good enough for now.